Today, we will apply the goals of psychology on prejudice and discrimination. To give you an idea about this behavior, here are some examples.
First, black students in United States of America are being treated more harshly and more frequent than white students. Here are another example. In Florida, an employee experienced discrimination due to sexual orientation.
After hearing the given example, let's get started with the first goal of psychology, which is description.
The first goal of psychology is description. Description involves observing a behavior and noting everything about it. What is happening, where it is happened, to whom it happened, and under what circumstances it seems to happen.
Prejudice is an unjustified or incorrect attitude, usually negative, towards an individual based solely on the individual's membership of a social group. For example, a person may hold prejudiced views towards a certain race or gender. Discrimination is the behavior or action usually negative towards an individual or group of people, especially on the basis of sex, race, social class. Human conflict can result in crime, war, and mass murder, such as genocide. Prejudice and discrimination often are root causes of human conflict, which explain how strangers come hate to one another to the extreme of causing others harm. Prejudice and discrimination affect everyone. In this section, we will examine the definition of prejudice and discrimination, examples of these concepts, and causes of these biases. Prejudice and discrimination have been prevalent throughout human history. Prejudice has to do with inflexible and irrational attitudes and opinions held by members of one group about another, while discrimination refers to behaviors directed against another group.
The second goal of psychology is explaining the behavior. In this goal of psychology, we ask the question, why do people do the things they do, and what factors contributed to this behavior? When it comes to prejudice and discrimination, conformity, or the behavior in accordance with social accepted convention or standard can explain this behavior. Influences that cause individuals to be prejudiced may come from peers, parent, or group membership. This means that people adopt the normal set of behavior associated with a particular group or society. People may prejudice belief and feelings and act in a prejudiced way because they are conforming to what is regarded as normal in the social group to which they belong.
The third goal of psychology is to predict or pattern of the future. In prediction, we ask the question when and why will the behavior occurs in the future. By noting the observation from the past and the answering by what could happen to the future. But the reason of being prejudiced and discrimination is related to historical event. Example, victims of particular group kinds of bullying may go on to become bullies themselves. In the same way, if a person has been victim of prejudice, there's a chance that they will come to hold similar opinions about others. Other example, if a parents had prejudices of their own, there are a chance that opinion will be passed on the next generation.
Our next goal is control. This is the final and most important goal in psychology. Part of psychology is learning how to change situations and take control of them. In this goal of psychology, we ask the question, what can they do to reach a different outcome, or what I can do to get them to stop doing that. By looking at the ways a certain behavior link and form patterns, psychology finds a way to alter these paths. So, there is one variable that can make us less prejudiced. It's education, or being educated on this matter. People who are more educated express fewer discrimination and prejudice in general. The effects of education on reducing prejudice are probably due in large part to the new social norms that people are introduced to in schools. Social norms define what is appropriate and inappropriate, and we can effectively change discrimination and prejudice by changing the relevant norms about them. The influence of social norms is powerful, and long-lasting changes in beliefs about outgroups will occur only if they are supported by changes in social norms. Prejudice and discrimination thrive in environments in which they are perceived to be the norm, but they die down when the existing social norms do not allow it. And because social norms are so important, the behavior of individuals can help create or reduce prejudice and discrimination. What this means is that if you believe that prejudice is wrong, you must confront it when you see it happening. As a conclusion, taking steps to reduce prejudice is everyone's duty. Having a little courage can go a long way in this regard. Although it is embarrassing to do so, particularly if we are not completely sure that the behavior was in fact prejudice. When we fail to confront it, we may frequently later feel guilty that we did not do anything about it. So this is the end of our report. Thank you for listening. Goodbye guys.